My friends think I'm out partying, but that's not me, and he's at my door. The last time I saw my own face, it was smiling at me from the other side of a 15th-story window. It started with a sound, a tiny, insignificant noise. I'd just landed a junior architect position at a firm downtown, the kind of job you dream about when you're drowning in student loans. For the first few weeks, I was a ghost, head down, just trying not to get fired. By the third week, I finally felt comfortable enough to use the break room. I was sitting there, nursing a lukewarm coffee and enjoying the silence when I heard it. Tink, tink, tink. Like a small pebble against the huge plate glass window that overlooked the city. I glanced over. Nothing, just clouds and the sterile blue spire of the building across the street. I figured it was the building settling or the wind playing tricks. A few days later, it happened again. Tink, 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 tink. Same rhythm, same window. I didn't even bother looking that time. You don't want to be the weird new guy who hears things. Especially not when you're this close to finally having a real career. I was out with a nasty flu for the better part of a week, 3 months into the job. When I finally dragged myself back into the office, I felt like a wrung-out dish rag. Jago, the guy at the desk next to mine, clapped me on the shoulder. "The dead return," he said with a grin. "Dude, you were on fire Friday night." I blinked at him, my head fuzzy. "What? The karaoke thing?" "Your rendition of Hurt was a spiritual experience. I didn't know you had that kind of misery in you, Kaz." I just shook my head. I wasn't here Friday. I was at home with a 102-degree fever. Jago's smile faltered for a second, then came back wider. "Right. Sure, man. Playing it cool. I get it." He turned back to his monitor, but I saw the look. He thought I was being weird. The next day, nursing a brutal post-flu headache in the break room, the knocking came back. Tink, 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 tink. It wasn't just a random sound anymore. It felt deliberate, patient. It scraped along my raw nerves, and I had to physically stop myself from spinning around to look. I came home that night to an apartment that was too quiet. Anouk was gone. Her clothes, her books, her easel that always took up too much space in the living room, all of it vanished. The only thing she left was a single sheet of paper on the kitchen table. It wasn't even a letter, just a note. "I don't know who you are anymore. Don't try to find me." I tried to sleep in our bed, but I could only smell her perfume on the pillows, a ghost of a scent that made my throat close up. I couldn't stay there. I walked to the corner store, bought a bottle of cheap whiskey, and let myself back into the office with my key card. The building was empty and silent, a concrete tomb, and that's what I wanted. The main conference room was dark, the table a long, polished abyss reflecting the city lights. I sat there for a long time, drinking from the bottle, waiting for tears that wouldn't come. Then the knocking started. It wasn't the light tink this time. It was a solid thud against the glass. The sound of a knuckle rapping for attention. I ignored it, drank more. Tud. Ud. It came again, louder, heavier. Tud. Thud. The pane of glass vibrated with it. A human fist demanding to be acknowledged. I got to my feet, stumbling a little. The window was a black mirror, showing me only my own pathetic, drunken reflection against the glittering backdrop of the city. I pressed my face to the cool glass, squinting, trying to see into the darkness beyond. And I saw it. In the reflection, another face faded into view, right over my shoulder. My face. Except it was all wrong. The eyes were too wide, too dark. And the smile. The smile stretched from ear to ear, a grotesque, predatory grin that showed too many teeth. It raised a hand, my hand, and tapped the glass from the other side. 15 floors up. I didn't even scream. A sound got stuck in my throat, a choked, wet noise. I snatched my keys from the table and I ran. Down the emergency stairwell, my footsteps echoing like gunshots. I burst out onto the deserted street and just kept running, not stopping until I found a 24-hour diner and huddled in a booth, surrounded by the comforting noise of strangers. The next morning, my manager called me into his office. He pointed to the half-empty whiskey bottle security had found. He told me that was unprofessional, but it was the least of my problems. Several high-end server drives had been stolen from the tech room. The camera shows you leaving in a hurry around 2 in the morning, he said, his voice flat. Looks like you were in a panic. I told him everything minus the impossible face. I told him my girlfriend had left, that I was distraught, that I just came to the office to be alone and then left. He nodded slowly. We know, but the camera also shows you walking out an hour later, calm as you please, carrying a duffel bag. I pleaded with him. I told him it wasn't me. He said he believed me, sort of. My panicked exit didn't match the cool demeanor of the thief. But they were suspending me anyway, pending an investigation. That night, I found a large, plain cardboard box jammed against my apartment door. There was no shipping label. My heart hammered against my ribs as I dragged it inside. I knew what was in it before I even opened it. The stolen server drives nestled in foam. It was framing me. I taped the box shut, hauled its impossible weight down 3 flights of stairs, and carried it 15 blocks to the old industrial canal. I threw it over the railing and watched it sink into the greasy black water. For a second, I felt a flicker of relief. The evidence was gone. But then a colder thought washed over me. It knows where I live. I've been in my apartment for weeks now. Work never called. But Jago keeps tagging me in photos online. There I am, at a bar with my coworkers, a wide, happy grin on my face. There I am, on a hiking trip I never took, arm around a woman I've never seen before. People I know send me messages. Thanks for the birthday gift, Kaz. Great seeing you last night. You're like a new person. My life is still going on out there. And from the sounds of it, everyone likes this version of me a lot better. 2 days ago, the knocking started here. At my front door mostly. 3 solid thuds. Thud. 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 The same rhythm. The same patient, insistent demand. Sometimes it moves to my bedroom window. I see a shadow fall across the blinds, a silhouette shaped just like me. It never tries the doorknob. It never tries to break the glass. It just knocks, and it waits. It's been at my front door for the last hour. The wood of the frame groans with each impact. It's not angry, it's just persistent. I think it wants to come home. And God help me, I'm so tired of being in here alone. I'm starting to wonder what would happen if I just opened the door.